What the fuck is wrong? What was going on with my audio? This is weird. Did it?
Your audio is coming out fine on my end at the very least.
No, it might be the stream.
Mm.
No, it is picking up the correct microphone. It might be.
It's the on the
You
side.
know how? Oh yeah, of course. No, that is certainly normal. You know how audio settings are incredibly fickle, and it takes a lot of experimentation to find a set of audio settings that actually do the thing that you want them to do. And you know how they just will get magically reset for no fucking reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Ah,
Speaking
hell
of, that is the
yes.
first question on this Q&A that I want to ask.
Yeah.
What is your favorite potato?
What do you
Like,
baked, I guess. Or mashed. What do you mean what is my favorite potato?
what is your favorite way to cook a potato and then eat it?
I'm
Doesn't
not
have to be like.
this is really this is a it's actually a good question. Um I'm not sure because it really depends on what you want to do. So the thing that I do most frequently is like a steakhouse potato casserole. But I really like this thing called kumpir, which is a Turkish dish that I have a place for here in town. It's basically like a baked potato, um, with toppings on it, and I would just have this place here in town that is fantastic. But I don't really do baked potato at home as much. This really I so yeah I the answer is both. Not a huge fan of raw potatoes. I like potato dumplings though.
You can't eat raw potatoes, can you?
No, I mean like not raw potatoes, but like just potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well but I'm here. Hi, in case anyone is wondering what's going on, I'm here with two of my boys, with Priest
Ew.
and Posh.
Boys.
They are on the stream because they are part of the patron group on Patreon that can access Fast Food Thursdays. They can be part of Fast Food Thursdays on the second channel.
I mean, I
Um,
just worked my way into this position.
that's true. That's true. You didn't actually. You are not paying me. But yeah, that's what I'm. That's what they're here for.
Mm.
And the same is true about Salsa, who just donated $10. What was the most difficult? He can also just show up. What was the most difficult part of showing yourself on YouTube? That people would know that you're German, or that because you're German, they'd be aware of your debilitating scat fixation?
Oh dear lord,
So
that's a difficult one.
I know for a fact, Saucer, that you are a professional journalist. So I don't know if they didn't teach you how to ask open-ended questions, my dude. But it's yeah. It was really the fact that people would know that I'm German immediately right off the bat because of my extremely heavy accent. Obviously, like anyone that I meet, even while speaking German, they'll be, "Oh, you're like very German." And I'm like,
Mm.
"Yes, I can't put the accent away, the extremely German accent that I have." Um,
Mm.
yeah. This so I did this thing, and I'm not sure if it was a terrible idea. Basically, what I made is like a fucking cocktail with dark beer, where I put a little bit of caramel syrup, a little bit of amaretto, some nutmeg, and some cinnamon. But it seems that most of the actual spices are caught up in the foam, which I
Mm.
find very moderately irritating. I have to be entirely honest with you. But yeah, this is a nice Christmas cocktail. It is
Mm.
what's this day called in other countries that aren't Germany?
Noel in French.
Well, I suppose I really dug my own grave by asking you that question. Friest, what is this day called in English speaking countries?
Like the day before Christmas,
Yeah.
we call it Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yes, actually that I knew this. Yeah, so
Why did you ask me then?
funny thing that the I wasn't remembering. Funny thing that people in the rest of the world don't know. Germans do presents on Christmas Eve. And so does the royal family, because the royal family of the United Kingdom are Germans. The
Yep.
Prince of the Badlands for $5 is saying, just here to throw it back for my dude burger. Love you stuff, man, especially the future stuff. I haven't done some of that in a while. Maybe I should consider getting back into that. Cyber
Speaking
Anime
of,
Alien for 50. I think this is New Zealand dollars. I have no idea how much this is, but it's like a bright sort of magenta color. So I guess this is a lot of money. Merry Christmas, but not too merry, so you don't get the big sad on Boxing Day. You know what's up. You know what's up.
Yes.
Billhook, Glaive, or Halbert, choose. Difficult question.
According to Google, it is 30 quid.
Well, it's very nice. Thank you very much. I'll have to say Glaive. I like halberds, but I associate them with kind of foot soldiers, and I'm like a special snowflake kind of guy, and I think glaives are very cool.
Fucking cringe.
Yeah, exactly, fam.
Man, why are you overthinking this fancy shit? Just go with a spear.
Oh, spears are
spears.
cool, but glaives are like spears that are like more cool.
Look, if I break a halberd or a glaive or something, that's gonna cost the military more money. If I just break a pointed stick, they're not gonna scream at me.
No, but the thing is, with at least a halberd, you can say, "Hey, I might no longer have a spear, but now I have a hammer / axe at the same time."
Yeah, I just want a glaive. That's my main thing. I like glaives. I think
If
they're
you
cool.
like glaives, you're cringe.
Yeah, well, then I will be cringe.
Imagine thinking weapons are based instead of being the Chad Kiryu Kazuma. Just punch people to
honestly,
oblivion.
the best one is
Fuck you.
sticks, just a fucking staff. That one I like the most. But there's other questions here in chat. Who else bought the presents today? Not me. I have did you know chupacabra means goat sucker? Yes, I wait. Actually, no.
Yep.
That says capacabra. So that doesn't say chupacabra.
Capacabra?
Yes, I did know that because I speak Spanish. I'd like your biasly asked burger without donating a single penny to make a video about Vampire the Masquerade. Actually, I have a unfinished script in my scripts folder that says all of the Vampire the Masquerade clans in an order that makes sense, or something to that effect. Because they all start with the Banu Hakim, which are an extremely cool clan, but also not really one of the most prominent ones in VCM. So, what about pointed sticks? Asks. It's a Chinese thing, or maybe it's a Japanese. It's kanji characters. One of them looks like a house. The other one kind of looks like an F that is sort of propped at an angle on some sort of Orthodox Christian religious cross. What about pointed sticks? Pointed sticks are cool, but the metal bit on weapons really is what makes them... I feel like sticks that are not pointed have more of a wise old wanderer type energy. Whereas if they're pointed, I feel like a caveman.
Well, if you take the pointed stick and walk with it facing down, you just look like a hiker, though.
Yeah, that is true, though. That's true.
Yeah, but you're damaging the tip, though, if you do that.
Well, my tip is already damaged.
I mean, as long as it's got like a little bit of a point on it, though, it'll still deal some damage if you hit someone with it.
This tastes very heavily of nutmeg, which, to be fair, my hand did sort of slip, and there's a lot of nutmeg in this half-liter of beer. Buffalo, who is here in the voice chat with me right now,
Yo,
is
what's
asking
up?
me if I want an early Christmas present. No, this would just be a regular Christmas present because I'm German, and we do presents on Christmas Eve, actually.
Very cool.
Based.
So that's a. Actually, I did open a present that Joy gave me. It's the Communist Manifesto. It's fun. And like a jar of smoked paprika, which I've found rather difficult to get my hands on. Hello, Zany. This is Zany from Cosmic Podcast, which is a very cool podcast that I've been on. Happy holidays to you as well, my man. Or, whatever it is that you celebrate. Actually, this I should have known that. Of course, you were going to actually send me some. Oh boy, damn Buffalo! This is Disco Elysium. I have very often considered buying this, so this is an excellent present, my dude. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so
dude,
much.
fucking hell.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot. It's been on my mind because it's really not the kind of game I'd usually play, but I've received so many good, recommendations for it that I was like, yeah, I might get it at some point.
I'll also recommend it. It's very good.
Hell yeah. Prince of the Badlands with another 5s. Hell with it. Here is another 5, my guy. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas to anyone here, unless you don't celebrate Christmas, in which case, whatever it is that you do celebrate. Drank any eggnog yet? I don't like eggnog. I hate eggs.
It's not cringe.
Actually, a good friend of mine last year made artisanal eggnog, and he's like a chef, so everything he makes is amazing. And I told him, I don't like eggnog. Please, I know that you'll be disappointed when I don't drink it because I don't like it. But he's like, yeah, no, but here's the eggnog. I'm like, okay, thank you, my king. I still have it, out of respect.
My brother's also a chef. He also made eggnog, and it's been sitting in our basement, getting ready. It's alcoholic eggnog, so we had to wait a year to drink it, and now's the year.
Hang on, there's non-alcoholic eggnog? What's the what's
a grocery store if you're boring?
Isn't that just pudding?
Or lactose intolerant?
Okay, Zany also just sent me a gift on Steam. Please, this is...
What's your Steam, actually, Burger?
You're just gonna send me a gift, so I'm not gonna give it to you.
Burger.
BK, hey man, thanks for being such a cool homie. Thanks.
Burger, it's the Steam sale!
I don't actually know what that is, so I'm gonna see, I'm drinking Black Barrel rum out of the bottle. Why are you doing that?
Lol. That's kind of strange, but
Lena is actually correct that there are breeds of potato. I am aware of this. I've just never understood them. I know that russet is one of them. Who's the other dude talking? There's a bunch of dudes talking here, actually, because I'm in the studio chat, which is accessible to... basically, because next week I'm not going to do a podcast with the patrons. I'm doing one now. Which is not really what this is. This is just a Q&A, but I just have him hang out. Oh, it's Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hey.
So the other dude is Posh, and also Buffalo, and Freest.
Yeah, just trying to survive with COVID at the moment.
Burger,
fucking God.
Yeah, you have COVID, right? Is it bad?
It's not gotten worse, though. The one thing I have noticed is my ears do sound quite... what's the word? Stuffed, I guess you could say. So your voice is coming out as somewhat muffled, but not enough that I can't tell what you're saying.
Huh. That is odd, because you also sound kind of stuffed.
Yeah, I sound extremely stuffed.
You sound like you're far away from the microphone. I'm not sure that's a symptom of COVID so much as it is a symptom of being far away from the microphone.
Is this any better?
It is, but it's fine. You're understandable. That's not a problem.
Yeah, okay.
What are your thoughts on Changeling the Lost? I like Changeling. I think it's very interesting. I think the fairies are fucking terrifying. Obviously, the main draw for me in World of Darkness is Vampire the Masquerade. But I do like Changeling. I find it very interesting because it's so it's more free form than Vampire. There's less lore for it, and there's also there's a house of, I think it's a house, a clan of like the Changeling equivalent to a clan that is like my first name, like even spelled exactly that way, which is kind of cool. So that's what I like about it. Bro, we see your shirt. Why isn't there a hashtag ad on the title? What? I don't really understand. There's no ad.
I think he. Oh, I think he's talking about your Cumtown shirt.
No, I just know this is something I wear. Like, and I'm wearing a branded Mass Effect hoodie. That's also just something that I have. This is not an ad. I usually do not like merch. I like merch that is not obviously visible as such. I am a big enough fan of Mass Effect that I'm cool with wearing this fucking hoodie. But the Cumtown shirts are very, like, no one looks at them and thinks, oh, this is the Cumtown podcast. It's like, no, this is...
What the fuck is this? Also, most people don't know what the Cumtown podcast is.
So. Unfortunately. What do you mean extra cheese and extra chromosomes? I'm Italian. What? That's racist, dude. I'm like, yeah. Hey, marron. That's what I usually say. Which, this is something I found out. And I posted this in the Boonga Boonga chat on the Discord server. The Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem is called, and this, you should all fucking sit down for this, Pier Battista Pizza Baller. As in
pizza baller. Pizza baller.
Like from fucking GTA. The Ballers.
My God.
And he's Italian.
Jesus.
Considering they seem to come off the same rules, do you think they'll ever release a general World of Darkness system that can be used for any supernaturals? Or have they already? I don't... well, the thing is, there's really no reason to do it. The systems, well, they're based off the same rules, and they're also compatible. You can, in theory, play a game of what you can have a werewolf in your crew. That's possible. The rules are compatible with each other, but the different kinds of supernatural creatures, they work differently. So that's why they have different, like the details of the rules are different. Like werewolves don't have to. I've never played werewolf, but changelings, for instance, don't really have to worry about hunger the way that vampires do.
I mean, doesn't just like the base rulebook of World of Darkness just count as that though?
There is no World of Darkness based rulebook. There's only the different ones. Hello, Silver. Welcome. There's only several. Ones.
I've got a World of Darkness horror rulebook. It's like, I think it's from the previous edition, but
that might exist. Thank you, Connor, for wishing me frohe Weihnachten. That's very, very nice. Thank you so much.
Oh, Weihnachten.
Yes.
Translation, please.
Christmas. It's Christmas.
All right. I just want to pop in and say hi real quick and just say Merry Christmas, everybody. I got to bounce.
Merry Christmas, you beautiful bastard.
You two YouTube posh. Sorry, your name. All right, see you around, cunts.
Hell yeah.
See you around, cunts.
Also, questions. I will take all kinds of questions. That's mainly what I'm here for.
I don't know if you answered this before, but what kind of got you into the YouTube game?
Well, I am known for having attendance. So what I used to watch YouTube videos and just talk. I used to just talk back to the YouTube videos, right? When I would see shit, I would see like articles, and I would just like talk at my computer screen, right? I would have entire like not dialectic as much as didactic conversations just playing out in my head as I was taking a walk in the park. And then I already had a gaming channel back then, which is now no longer a thing. And I did already have there a bit of a following because I did the r/civ battle royale as the guy who does the voice acting. And it was just I had wanted to do a YouTube channel for a long time, and I decided to just fuck it, let's just try and do it. And then it went somewhere, which is is your name a Burger King pun, or is my American brain rot misinterpreting that? It is not a Burger King pun, but it is a sort of pun, so you're not completely off.
Oh yeah, Berg. So I did a little bit of searching. There is actually a core rulebook. I posted a picture of the cover of it in studio. I can send you a copy that I actually have lying around if you want.
This honestly looks terrible.
It does. It really does.
This is so fucking bad. Holy shit. I mean, you do that, but that looks really terrible.
Here, let me see if I can send you the
bloody hell.
If it'll fit over Discord.
World of Darkness. It looks like some edgy new metal. It looks like some new metal edgy, album cover from the late 90s.
Yeah. What? I mean, honestly, that's what most of the World of Darkness artwork is like, though. And also the gameplay. It's like, oh, this is emo rock, aka Vampire the Masquerade.
Don't diss my boys, My Chemical Romance.
I don't see. I'm a traditional guy. I like blues and jazz. I've been listening to a lot of acoustic blues, even. Fucking big fan of John Fahey, actually. Which I always mispronounce as Jeff Fahey because of the actor Jeff Fahey. But he's very good.
Rock or blues metal.
I'm having a hard time finding just like a PDF or something I can send you because the one I have.
If you don't have it, don't go to the effort of doing that, dude.
Yeah. Basically, it's just the base rule set for humans. That's it.
Yeah.
Just
that's for humans. It's Hunter, right? Hunter the Reckoning.
Well, you got Hunter, and that's like something else. But this is just like you're ordinary people. You're not affiliated with something. It's just like.
The difference between there's a difference.
What's going on?
Yeah, in Hunter you are blessed.
I've been thinking about. I did this. I sort of took based on the Vampire 5 system. I sort of misappropriated it into doing like a Star Trek type thing, which I'm kind of fond of. People are DMing me on Discord. I'll get back to you all when the stream is done, because I'm trying to stay focused here. Burger, please make more feminist videos about targeting our guys' issues. I personally make guy loneliness vids and streams, and it feels like advocating about this issue is an uphill battle, so demoralizing. It kind of can feel that way sometimes, I think. A lot of people are very understanding of it, but there's like a certain subset of people that immediately puts you in the sort of the incel type camp, which is ironic because if you read like feminist theory and shit, it's all about like giving men the ability to express passion and to not be to give them the ability to show emotion and to not place all these societal burdens on them, to not make them sacrificial lambs for political causes. But in practice, obviously, they don't seem to have read that theory.
I mean, to be fair, only nerds read theory.
Exactly. Like most people, they you call yourself a feminist because it's the right thing to be, obviously. But there's still a lot of... Just because people call themselves anything doesn't mean they actually even understand what that thing would be about in terms of the ideology that it is associated with, but also doesn't... If most people of a social construct think of that social construct as something that it isn't in the academic theory, isn't that what it actually becomes as opposed to the academic theory? Because it is a social construct. It doesn't exist in objective reality. Yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. Um. Elon Musk Neuralink, Mark Zuckerberg's Metaverse remind you of Shadowrun too. No, those are just things that are happening. In like, I like Metaverse, because it's for like aesthetic reasons. Because I've been very irritated that we have this dystopian cyberpunk future, but only the worst parts of it. And one of the cool bits was to have like oppressive mega corporations with very ominous sounding names. And Facebook just isn't that. But Metaverse, ooh, hell yes, baby.
Exactly.
I really like
That's like the
that.
perfect kind of corp to do a hidden run against.
Yeah. And Neuralink, that's just Elon likes to announce things and then not follow through on them, and the few things that he is following through on, they tend to lose funding for some reason. So, because I think he realized that costs money. Burger, thank you for actually explaining some points that other people often just take as a given. Also, for bit calling TJ right wing or some BS so many people try to pull. I'm pretty sure you don't mean that I ever called TJ Kirk right wing, because he's one of the most left wing people that I know. So I'm just
TJ.
gonna take it as that. I still like TJ very much, by the way. He's still one of my favorite people on YouTube. Even though I don't watch his videos, he may be, and this is such a me thing to say, but he may be the most influential philosopher on my personal philosophy.
There.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I am gonna head out now, though. I did.
Wait,
wanna
hold the
wish
fuck
you
up.
Merry Christmas.
60
Buffalo.
fucking quid.
You should
For
be
fucking
hanging
DLC.
out with your family. What's 60 quid?
Yep, bye.
A DLC. A fucking DLC is 60 fucking quid.
For what?
Ready or Not, that tactical shooter.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
It's like a
Supporter
SWAT
edition.
game. It's neat.
Yeah, 88.32 quid for both the supporter edition and Ready or Not, the regular game.
As a sci-fi writer, I'm running into this problem where I'm writing a near future society, but every time I think of something, I find out it basically already exists. What do I do? Well, this is a common misconception that people have about science fiction as a genre. They think that it's sci-fi is about predicting the future, and it really isn't. It's about taking some idea. And this is one of the things that some aspects of sci-fi can do. Disclaimer, this and that. Map is as large as the area it represents. But to take an idea and like take it to its logical conclusion and explore a lot of possible, not even necessarily realistic aspects of it, but possible aspects of it. So if you come up with some idea for a future society and you find out that it's something that already exists, that means you seem to have a pretty good feeling for what is plausible. And you can just take any one of those things or any number of those things and develop them further to an almost unreasonable extent and just go ahead and explore that in your narrative. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like basically, if you come up with an idea, at least 5 other people have come up with it before, and 5 other people will come up with it after you. So just go nuts with whatever you think of.
There's no such thing as being original. I've said this many times. It's about the craft that you put in and to make it feel interesting.
Yeah. Hey Berg, so can I take advantage of being on the stream and ask you a question?
Well, Posh has been doing this all the time, so absolutely.
Okay, so I think I might have brought up this before on a stream, and it's just something I want to expand on a bit more. So one thing that I've had like a lot of debates on with other leftists as of late is the idea of patriotic leftism, i.e. like taking patriotic messaging and using it as a way of marketing socialist ideals, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I think that this is a good idea, specifically in the United States, in other countries, it's obviously going to be different, right? Like in Germany, it wouldn't. it would flop pretty hard, but in Britain it might work, etc. And the reason I think that it might work here in the States specifically is because leftism just has a huge imaging problem we have not been able to kill yet.
And you probably won't be able to kill it. This is a I saw you have this debate on this server even. And I understand that the counter-argument for this from left, because I'm fully with you. And I understand that the counter-argument to this from leftist circles is very often that they like dangerous people, that a lot of leftism is about protecting certain marginalized communities and allowing people who might be dangerous to do those kinds of communities into leftist spaces might sabotage the purpose of those spaces. And I'm not saying that that is a completely that's an argument without merit. I think it definitely does. And it is.
That's
historically, we have observed things like American labor unions not allowing in black people because of racism.
Which is very unfortunate.
Yes. However, that was at a time when there were incredibly powerful labor unions in the United States, and the Democratic Party was actually doing legislation in favor of the working class because it was drawing its funding from labor unions as opposed to Goldman Sachs. Right? This is not like I don't think this is as much as a dichotomy as a lot of leftists would like us to believe. I prefer to sell people on the ideas of socialism more than the labels of socialism anyway, because it has such a reputation problem pretty much anywhere. I don't advocate socialism. I advocate for worker-owned cooperatives. I advocate for credit unions. I advocate for cooperative housing.
Exactly, and if you don't mind me continuing off on this.
Yes, go ahead.
One thing, this is an argument that I haven't had the chance to make yet, but it is something I knew implicitly, but wasn't able to really externalize it until recently, is that when it comes down to it, one of the things that this helps with is we do not need to sell leftism to leftists. If we present leftist policy, communists will vote for it, leftists will vote for it, socialists will vote for it, Demstocks will vote for it, etc. What we need to target is liberals, the politically disengaged, and people and the rural working class.
Yeah, especially the latter two.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the easiest ways to get to them that the right has proven over and over again is patriotic messaging. So simply put, why are we leaving a loaded gun in the middle of the room when we can pick it up and shoot the enemy?
It's, patriotic messaging is like a bit of a can of worms type of thing to open up. Because when you talk to leftists about patriotic messaging, it's going to be racist shit. Hello?
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's gross.
Oh shit, I gotta check on my bread.
Is something happening with Core? What is going on?
I think Core's just kind of slowly dive on us.
Okay.
We're having Christmas together.
Well, let's celebrate Christmas, dude. What are you doing here? You have a good time.
Already did.
I have to answer some. I want also to answer some questions from chat. Are you gonna do another system agnostic classes? I will. Yes. Fuck. This year I've done fewer videos than usual, and so another series that I've been neglecting is Interesting Lives. I did the last Interesting Lives, I think, was Harvey Milk in early this year. And the reason that I haven't done the next Interesting Lives is because the next Interesting Lives, this is a secret fact that only people who are watching this publicly available live stream that will not be in any way deleted will know, is the next one is going to be about Shiro Ishii. And that he is one of the worst people who have ever existed. And I have found it very difficult to work my way through the atrocities that happened in those Japanese concentration camps.
Jesus. He's a pretty fucked up guy, isn't he?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. People say, he's like the Japanese Mengele. Mengele was basically ethical medical practitioner compared to Shiroishi. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, Bert, can I give you a
yeah.
suggestion for one of your nuanced, interesting lives?
Yes, go ahead.
Julie Duabry.
Who is this?
Ooh.
She was an opera singer in, I think, like right around the time or right before the revolution happened in France, and she was known for cross-dressing and stealing men's wives after beating them in duels.
Hell yeah. Fucking
That-
lit.
Oof.
That's fucking bait.
Patriotism is not about loyalty to the government. Patriotism is in fact is not about loyalty to anything. Patriotism is a constant effort to do good for the people of your country, said Edward Snowden. That's an Edward Snowden quote. Yeah, that's pretty good. Since
Yeah,
we're on
it's pretty
lefty
in
thought
line.
right now, the idea of police and teachers unions is crazy, right? A democracy is already a union in the sense that these people are the representation, right? No. Okay, police unions are a thing that especially Americans get very iffy about, and police in general, because police in America is, like, bad. It is just
Yeah.
objectively a negative organization. And then there's like European leftists who see European police also doing maybe like 0.1% of the horrible shit that American police does, and basically equating the two.
Yeah.
Police
Although,
and like
sorry.
public employees of all kinds also require unions because they are workers. If you are a worker, you get a union. I know it's cool to go, oh, but police unions bad, and I understand that police unions in the United States, as the institutions that stand as they stand today, are an active negative political force, as is the general structure and organization of American police departments. But this cannot take away the right of workers to have unions. If you're going to have principles, and if you're going to stand up for the working class, cops are also people of the working class. That is just
Yeah,
a
not
fact.
Not only that, but there's also another problem in that if you put any kind of ability, precedent, or legislation in place to take down police unions, who's to say they're not going to go after, say, garbage worker unions or just
Teachers.
union busting in general?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It teaches. That's the thing, because nobody questions teachers' unions. Everyone's like, yeah, of course they should have teachers' union. They should be more powerful.
Yeah.
And the same way that like police in the United States needs to be reformed to an extent where it basically needs to be abolished and rebuilt from scratch, the same would be true about the police unions. But you can't have a state without some sort of like law enforcement, even if that law enforcement ideally looks like community policing. And community policing cannot take care of things like major crimes. You need specialized people for that. But major crimes are usually not really the ones in the police department that do all the fucked up shit. Don't beat yourself up over making less videos than normal. I did this because of what my doctor. There's another video coming out. About like the year review. I did this because I've been working more on writing, which you've seen nothing of course, this year. And also, want to... I don't know what it is, but I've been doing... There was a point in time where I was doing 3 videos a week. And now I'm doing 1 video a week. And I still feel like I'm doing 3 videos a week. And I don't feel as though my process has gotten much more complicated. So I'm not sure what that is. I think it is just the general workload that I have still being the same, and the continued stress of like the pandemic and shit like that. I'm thinking about the types of content that is on the channel, because when I ask most people what they like about the channel, one of the main answers is the diversity of content. But at the same time, the diversity of content has also been one of the great limiting factors to the growth of the channel. But at the same time, I don't think I could do anything else. Like, I couldn't pick one thing and then just do that because I'd get bored with it immediately. And in terms of, this is something that I actually, this is something that actually goes into your point, Jeff Jefferson. I feel like a lot of channels on YouTube then feel, obviously it's an obligation to make content because that's how they make money, but they reach for content that isn't actually interesting. They make videos that didn't actually need to be made, even by themselves. Like, they don't go there, oh, this is an important video that I should make for literally anyone, even just because it interests me, but they're just making content. And the worst of this is, like, political YouTube, where every day they're blowing some new minor scandal out of proportion just to have something to talk about. This is something that I never want to happen to my channel. We tried Jeremy Clarkson's Latga that he makes. I don't know what that lager. I have not. No, I did not know that Jeremy Clarkson was making lager. Is Jeff Jefferson actually your name? I feel like units should exist as semi-temporary entities, save for political parties, because I feel like they're permanent. Eventually, they become corrupt. No. The problem. Here's the thing about that. It's because the system is set up to corrupt. This is what people mean when they say it's like it's a systemic thing. Yes, power structures that exist will eventually, like institutions, will have a sort of lethargy to them, a sort of what's the word? Not momentum, the opposite of momentum.
All right, Core. Well, the bread's out of the oven. And to update you on it, I think my yeast is dead, so it didn't rise at all.
That isn't what the word that I was looking
Nasty.
for. Inertia. Inertia. They're going to have some level of institutional inertia.
Institutional inertia. Well, that's the same. That's kind of the same thing as momentum.
Yeah, but it's in terms of physics, yes, but in terms of how the word feels and the ideas associated with it.
Fucking burger at his fucking German mental state.
But they're existing these kinds of organizations. If you actually build them in a way where they are base democratic, they become a lot less corruptible. They will always get corrupted to some extent, but it's better to have a minimally corrupt, very powerful labor union than having no labor union. Like, that's the deal that you make. You're not going to get a perfect world. You're just going to get one that is as good as you can make it. Jeff Jefferson is a pseudonym. Okay. How could the police union not be in bed with the police union as an institution supposed to work in their interest? That's not really how unions work, though. Like, the union is supposed to represent the labor of the people who work there. Like, that's like saying the Amazon union represents the interests of Amazon. No, it doesn't. Or the teachers union represents the interests of the government.
That's where you're wrong, Booker. It's an Amazon union. Obviously, it's going to represent Amazon.
It's Jeff Bezos is the leader of the Amazon union. That's why he stepped down as CEO. It's a fucking become the union leader.
Imagine if that actually happened.
That would be
unbelievably funny. Just is Jeff Bezos with a fake mustache. Just fucking.
Just Bezos.
Fucking do like brown face to be more sympathetic and look like a Latino worker in the warehouse.
Oh my god. What the fuck am I supposed to do for this fucking mission? You know when they give you an objective in a mission and it's like, oh, you're supposed to do this, but they give you no actual objective marker? And it's like,
That is terrible.
Like,
As someone who's chronically depressed for years now, I've never felt more understood by a random German dude than all those psychiatrists I went through. So thank you, Burger. Sorry for being too easy. Thank you so much for being this honest and transparent. It is important to be understood. Obviously, I'm very happy that I could provide that experience for you. But obviously, a psychiatrist's job, I feel like, isn't necessarily to understand you, but to help you. Although, of course, if the psychiatrist understands what you're going through, it's gonna make it a lot easier for them to help you. Burger, you're one of the most I hope this means understated content creators. Like, I always wondered why I haven't. We stuck at 25 subs for years. Like, seriously. Yeah, I can tell you why that is. I can tell you why. There's several reasons for this, and one of them is the variety of content that I produce. But also another major reason, and this is obviously I have no actual formal confirmation of this, but my channel was growing for a while, and then there came a point in 2019, I believe, where YouTube said, we are from now on going to be deprioritizing anything that isn't mainstream news when it comes to politics. And it would be... I'm not going to claim that it's too much of a stretch to assume, because all of the alternative politics channels that aren't like right-wing extremists, because those get boosted in the algorithm, simply because of how like much sharing goes on, as not necessarily because the algorithm itself promotes them. They like Kyle Kalinske, David Pakman Show. I'm not going to say Jimmy Dore because it's Jimmy Dore. But a lot of those channels that aren't like just about the Kumite fucking drama bullshit have been extremely stifled in their growth since basically that month. And that is the exact same month where that started happening for me as well. So what I'm pretty sure happened is that some bot automatically classified my channel as a news and politics channel, and because this is not CNN Burger, I have basically been stuck at the point where I am. I'm pretty sure this is one of the factors that is a major factor in this whole thing. And it's sad, certainly, but it's the hand that I have been dealt. So,
bro, if you need a heal, I can stir up controversy. I can try to just find shit to just create false chaos.
just start beef.
Yeah, just start beef for no reason.
Yeah, actually, I heard that Burgerkrieg is secretly a vegan.
Burger. Stop beef with who's Betty.
Sir, it's
I'm
gonna be
sorry.
on some makeup channel or some shit. I'm gonna say that they're like, who the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?
just start up beef.
also hello, Anfish.
Okay.
What?
Hello, Anfish.
I think I talked about this for a while. I need to get into some of the other questions here. I'm sorry if I missed your question. Anyone who asked a question. Remember Allah's favor upon you and the covenant he made you when he said, we hear and obey, and be mindful of Allah. Surely Allah knows best what is hidden in the heart. Thank you so much, Stoneworks. I appreciate it. Very excellent real thing that you just said. Inshallah. May his light bless you. What's the thing that they say?
Mashallah, which one?
No, the peace be upon him.
Yeah.
But that's about Muhammad, peace be upon him. Stoneworks also a very good channel, by the way. He hasn't produced as much content as I would have liked, but then who does? It's like Jontron, but more productive and not racist.
Oh yeah, so Burger, I recently came across this thing that I think you might be interested in, and it is called Spin Launch.
I'm sorry, what?
So the idea is launching an object into space using centrifugal force or kinetic energy specifically.
Like a mass driver, basically.
Kind of, but not really. They're just basically taking like the experiment they used was they took like a 10-meter long dart or something and just spun it in a circle for like an hour, then directed it so that the next time it spun, it went into the tube and straight up into the sky.
Yeah. Well, it would be pretty much impossible to send people up that way because they would die.
If you're a pussy.
This is like a 1 minute vid of like first launch, I think.
Just for telling the astronauts, you need to go to the fucking 30G machine that will give you an aneurysm for an hour. And then if you don't do it, you're a
blood
pussy.
from your body. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking do it or you have no balls, pussy.
Fuck. Speaking of veganism, in logical sense, I can't justify eating meat, but I still do it anyway. How do I cope? The natural equals good argument just doesn't hold up. Oh, do I have a big treasure trove of cope for you, my man? Okay, so here's the thing. So first of all, the impact of meat on the environment is overblown. Many of the statistics that are used for that do sort of dishonest methods of analysis. This isn't to say that meat is like very good for the environment or that it doesn't have an environmental impact, because it definitely does, and it needs to be reduced. But it also does a lot of things that climate scientists kind of ignore and agrarian scientists will happily tell you about. So one of the main things that you need to know about agriculture is that most of the things that are grown, humans can't eat. And I don't mean that we just grow crops that people can't eat. It's just that the majority of most crops, the plant itself, is shit that humans cannot eat. And this food is given to animals. That is animal feedstock. That's what we give them. 90% of the food that animals eat, like cattle animals that we have on the livestock, that's the term, is just waste products from other agricultural endeavors. This is called nutrient upcycling. And it basically takes these things that are indigestible by humans and puts them in a highly, extremely digestible and nutritious format, which is meat. It also, the whole industry produces like half of the fertilizer in the world, which if you have ever purchased an organic products are made with 100% animal fertilizer. So if you want to continue doing animal fertilizer, you'll need those animals to live anyway. The other half of the fertilizer in the world is produced through something called the Haber-Bosch process to, what's the name of that particular chemical? It's dropped out of my head. Nitrogen, yes. That kind of nitrogen fixation, which is one of the most energy-intensive chemical processes used in large-scale industrial applications. So actually, while there are many practices in agriculture that are unfortunate, like land clearing to create pastures in the Amazon, these things are not necessary. These are political decisions. You can not do those and still have meat that is readily accessible, and that is actually better for people's nutrition, and it's better for the environment, because if we didn't do that, we would have to grow even more crops, because the part of the crop that humans can actually eat is a lot smaller. So animals are actually an essential part of the global food production apparatus. Yeah,
and also I never got, like, the rainforest motherfuckers, like, literally they could just go on Google and do 2 seconds and realize that it's not at all, like, you can't, it's you can't consistently grow shit in rainforest because the soil's too fucking poor. So
they clear it for cattle.
Yeah. But even the grass and shit'll grow, because I just I always hear
that's
it's
the thing.
Dumb soil.
No, the grass will grow, and that's something that generally cattle are very good at. Most of the soil that we use to graze animals on is soil that cannot be used for regular agriculture. This is why, for instance, like fucking the Switzerland has so many cows, because it's very difficult to do agriculture on a fucking slope.
Right.
Julian says, Happy New Year, Berg, a long-time fan, first-time commenter, frequent stream squatter. Thank you so much for the $5, my man. Sleepy Doodle says, try diversifying off YouTube, we'd use BitShot, maybe Rumble. They're better for political content. No. This is something that is recommended to me a lot. And I'll explain why I'm not going to do that. The only thing it does is it takes away part of my audience that would have driven engagement on YouTube and puts it on a different platform. And that different platform is invariably going to die. It's very sad that it is this way, but realistically, I cannot afford to do that because it increases my workload by a significant amount, and it doesn't actually give me anything in return.
Well, what if you just like make an account and upload every video that you upload to YouTube?
That already is a greater workload.
Okay.
And what it does, it takes away audience on YouTube, people who would rather use BitChute than YouTube, because for the right reasons they're trying to support BitChute. But then what that does is I get less engagement on YouTube. The algorithm thinks I'm less popular, and I get less recommenders on YouTube. That's a problem. Oh, it's not about the environment, it's about harming something that doesn't want to be harmed. I believe you shouldn't enact violence upon something that has the ability to communicate. Yeah, I really don't care about that.
Got him.
Yes, I would prefer if we could lab grow all meat and didn't have to harm animals for it. But I've killed animals before. Like, that's part of nature.
Burger's a sociopath confirmed. He kills puppies.
I'm gonna drop I think the
Delicious
hottest take I've
puppy
ever
soup.
dropped live.
That's just the age-old question. What is better for someone? Live a happy life and die at some point, or fight your whole existence just to get to the next day? What is better?
It's the best one is you live a happy life eternally because you're immortal.
Yeah,
Honestly,
because of all the baby blood that you bathe in and whatever the fuck brain chemical they eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a bit of a hot take. I think that debatably, animal rights, working towards animal rights is anti-leftist praxis.
Well, this is like that. What the fuck?
Well,
Please explain yourself.
We need to focus on the rights of the working class and the rights of human beings. We need to focus on things like human rights abuses by Qatar and Saudi Arabia, not how those are more important than how, say, farms treat their cattle. I am sorry, but human beings are just a higher priority.
That is true. But I think I wouldn't make the argument that is anti-leftist praxis, because you could say the same thing about trans rights, and I would say that trans rights are very much leftist praxis.
yeah.
So I understand what you mean.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Trans rights are human rights.
Yes,
I say that
absolutely.
we focus on human rights.
But I think most people that are in the camp of ardent vegans, because I've said this to them, they're like, well, why can't you do both? Which is true. It's not like they're sacrificing one for the other. I mean, sometimes they can, but
Most vegans I've met though have very little class consciousness because they're middle class.
right,
Which is very sad. Just became a $10 patron because I thought it would let me to join the Discord call. If I have in some way misled you, that's the $20 tier, the ones that get to be on Fast Food Thursday. You can cancel that. I'll give you a refund. I mean, I'm very glad that you still say I still think you deserve it, because I think every upload is amazing. But don't feel like that. I don't want to have deceived anyone here. Yeah. Yeah, I love animals, but not enough not to kill one if I have to. See, a lot of people who actually, I watched this documentary, by which I mean I'm a fucking nerd. Chef's Table. It's like it talks about chefs, and one of them was this Italian butcher who was a veterinarian for a while.
Veterinarian.
Yeah, he grew up in a family of butchers.
What
he
war did he
became
fight in?
he became like a veterinarian because he wanted to save the animals. But then eventually he inherited the butcher shop and figured, I'm just gonna kill him.
Who are we talking about?
But to his mind, that is like a sign of respect. To kill the animal to give it a good life, kill it, and then give it like everything, like use all parts of it. So there are a lot of like philosophical frameworks wherein that is acceptable. However, of course, if you don't subscribe to those frameworks, you might disagree.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with the framework of like use all parts of the animal because, well, frankly, why would you waste decent biomass?
Exactly.
And speaking of that thought process of at least use as much of the animal as possible. So I remember Jamie Oliver. He did a segment where he showed kids how chicken nuggets are made. Other than the preservatives that I'm guessing are put in that meat, is there anything inherently harmful about eating the ground up carcass of a chicken?
No, Jamie Oliver is just bougie.
No, I made a video about this.
Yeah. Jamie Oliver is a boomer as stuck.
Yeah.
He's
So
just bougie.
me eating the ground up bones of chicken isn't inherently unhealthy.
Absolutely not. Bones are very healthy.
Yeah, I eat the marrow off chicken wings all the time, actually.
I've made stock out of bones before. It's fantastic.
It's a satisfying feeling.
Counterpoint. I'm not a leftist. I have some left ideas, but it doesn't define me. This is something that I've tried to explain to so many leftists. This is what most people think. They are not defined by their political ideology. They will not follow someone because they have the right label. They will follow someone because they are actually working hard to implement the right policy that is beneficial to them. They're not going to sacrifice, which they don't have to because leftism is better for people. It's honestly the most frustrating experience dealing with online leftists.
Yeah,
And
like there's actually one.
The people I meet IRL, I know fucking one of my closest friends whom I love dearly is like a die-hard communist. And he's not as insane as like even the most moderate terminally online leftist.
Like the stereotypical Twitter user kind of people?
Yes.
Oh wait, is it like that chick who said I saw Chris Reagan do this analyze this in a recap once. This black dude posted an image that black women are heroes, and then some chick on Twitter twisted and like, we are not your heroes. We're tired of being like overworked or some weird spin on it. Like, I have no idea how the fuck that I mean, I understand positive stereotypes are still stereotypes, and that could be viewed as a stereotype in some capacity, but like it was just a retarded take. Are we live? Can I say that?
I mean, you can pretty much say anything because I say anything. Yeah, it's bad, but it's Twitter. If you ever go to Twitter thinking that you're gonna have like an important time or that you're gonna learn something, you have already lost.
Yeah, just whatever the hell it does with people, it just enables someone to just say the most outrageous thing and just with just impunity. If I ever get famous enough to have a Twitter following, I'm just not going to take it seriously because you can't have serious discussion with the text limit. It's all superficial.
This is why I love Twitter, because it's the worst people in the world all of the time.
Elitist assholes who just completely ignore nuance because they think people already get what they're saying and think that everybody else is too dumb.
Just with like the way you describe the take though, Silver, I can kind of see what they're going for. It kind of sounds more like an anti-hustle culture thing, but it is kind of retarded on the face of it as well.
Yeah.
No, it was like working class, like black ladies, like a picture of a black chick on like a telephone wire, like blue collar black ladies. This is a couple of years ago.
Wait, why is she up there?
Shouts out to blue collar black ladies.
It's called a lineman, not a line woman. Jesus fucking Christ. What does the world come to? Now they're letting Women do work that say man in it. SMH.
Women, am I right?
Yeah, dude.
I just dabbed physically just to paint a picture
just-
for you
I
guys.
heard
that-
it. I heard you do
yeah.
it too. It's
Well, that means the point is legit if you had a dab.
Hey,
it's
Verder,
that's like a
talking about-
natural impulse if you make a good point to do the dab.
Yeah.
It's
just a dab.
evolutionary. You can't. It's like sneezing.
Yeah, Darwin documented it with
Yeah, yeah.
beagles and shit or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck he was
Yeah.
looking at.
Every time they get a kill, they just they put one wing over their face, dip their bodies, and put the other wing out as a celebratory dance. Celebratory dance. It was like when those storks lifted their heads up, pointed their heads up to the sky and like clacked their beaks together when the female laid an egg. It's like that.
There is a
You
bird
got
that
right.
actually does dab organically. That's something that they do.
You post
Really?
that
What bird
picture
is
right
this?
now. I want to see that.
I'm not going to because I'm doing a live stream. But if
Alright.
you put bird dabbing into YouTube, you're probably going to be able to find it.
Base.
Yeah. Sounds cringe.
Hey, Bert,
Yeah.
so talking of, like, terminally online leftists, right?
Yeah.
There is a thing I've been, like... I had come across it before, but I hadn't heard of it. But I hadn't, like, really interfaced much with it till now, and that's, like, basically the... I'll just call it a fucking false dichotomy, because it is the false dichotomy of internationalist leftism versus local leftism, which is just dumb to me.
Isn't international leftism neoliberalism?
Like what they're talking about specifically is like it's like the worldwide revolution type. So they're saying we have to bind together on a global level to get shit done, not just like deal locally and shit.
I mean, yes, we do, but that happens when enough people do shit locally. This is also one of the things that I hate most about like online leftism, and this is not just an online thing. Leftists will find any fucking minor disagreement to completely declare an entire organization utterly antithetical to everything that they stand for. Like you could have
like what specifically?
It's a
Give me an
Venn
example of, like-
diagram where there's one pixel that isn't overlapping, and they're going to just murder those people.
They deem an organization anti-left or anti-equality.
It's honestly.
Okay, sorry to sound like a dick if I do sound like a dick here, but like Burger, give me like an actual example.
Well,
of a
you
group
don't
of
have
people
good examples for this in like America because they don't
Yeah.
have like a good leftist infrastructure. But
Well, we did like when the Black Panthers fell apart. The East Coast and West Coast Black Panthers hated each other based on like what their job as a group was. So the West Coast ones were all about like the soup kitchens and shit, and then the East Coast ones were like mainly about like arming people. And since they didn't see eye to eye on that, there's a lot of beef.
one
even though they
was
could just did both.
One was
Yeah.
prioritizing serving the underprivileged communities. Other was arming the underprivileged.
Yeah, and
Both are
you can't
based.
do both at the same time. Apparently,
in Germany,
So-
we have two prominent communist parties, and they fucking hate each other based on some like minor disagreements on historical revisionism in the Soviet Union. Like that's it. That is
Hey.
literally it.
Don't you just
Fucking
hate it when you
tanks,
disagree
man.
on minor historical revisionism in the Soviet Union? God damn it, that's fucking cringe, bro.
This is why I know a lot of leftists go, oh yeah, it's because of the neoliberal propaganda model, and the neoliberal propaganda model does a lot of the heavy lifting. But it's also shit like this.
Yeah, but this shit's been going on before that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, look at the Spanish Civil War. I mean, that's literally a whole fucking thing of the leftists being like, "You're gay, dude. You believe the wrong fucking thing, homo."
Like at
Weren't
least,
they? Wait, was it two communist factions who were fighting?
No, there's like
Or,
35 communist factions that all hated each
Jesus
other.
Christ.
so that's why Van Gogh abused all of his wives. Because the communism. Oh hell no.
hang on,
When I say Van Gogh, I meant to say Picasso. Oh god.
I was
I
gonna
was
say.
about to say.
Vigo is Dutch.
More questions, chat. More questions. Ask me anything you've ever wanted to ask me. I may answer.
All right, it's a Q&A thing. I forget. I'm sorry.
You can ask me the same things, Silver. The floor is open.
All right, I can actually. I know I talk a lot, but I want to just ask this because it's been something that's bothered me for a long fucking time. I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth, as a lot of people in this channel probably know.
I do.
Last 5 years have been fucking rough for this place. I connected a lot with the people who made the content itself, and just a lot of bullshit happened. More specifically, this new animated series that they created about 2 years ago. The second season was fucking awful, and it was fucking the 18th season of Red vs. Blue was also really bad, and it's just demoralizing because it's kind of just fucking demoralizing because I admire these people a lot, but the quality of the animated content, which is what I mostly have come for, has dropped off significantly. How do you deal with that? Like being a fan of a property and really invested in something like a property and seeing it fall off when it was literally just beginning, or seeing a new phase of it come in and seeing it just go downhill.
Just move on.
Yeah, this is one of the worst fucking things. It's move on. Honestly, you can't save it. It's something that especially we as a generation have been dealing with. I mean, we as a generation, a lot of franchises, especially video games, have been just murdered by a financial exploitation.
Yeah.
I think this is just a human thing, though. I think that's been going on literally since the beginning of time.
Investment.
For sure.
Just shit getting bastardized.
This is the mindset to take
No,
away.
but the worst part is it's become a lot worse in terms of how financially. I don't know what the exact word should be. Financially predatory it is, I guess you could say. It has become.
Terry Pratchett never had this problem because he had a vision and he saw it through.
If I can just... So let me just go into a bit more just specifics. I'll try to be brief. Rooster Teeth came up with a show called Genlock. The premise is that global warming causes humanity to split into two factions. One's the UN rebranded with a lot more capitalist corporate influence, and the other is a transhumanist cult that believes in ascension through nanobot assimilation. It's revealed in season 2, but that's the premise. There's 4 pilots. There's 5 pilots who upload their minds in the giant robots. It was really, really it had a lot of potential. Season 1 was really good. The writing for season 2 was awful. They have a great voice cast, but they killed off one of the characters after he had a really cool, really good, really awesome character development. Immediately killed the next episode. It's just the writing sucked, and what's weird is that apparently the writing staff changed to become more diverse. And apparently one of the writers was on High Guardian Spice. And this goes into another issue. Would someone say woo to heart? Yeah.
Did someone mention the cursed anime? Because I think someone just mentioned cursed anime.
You mean the American cartoon?
What did you say?
Let's take a moment to fucking say rip. Shows that have been ruined by the idea of injecting diversity because it's so unnecessary. You can do diversity so well. I struggle to imagine. I really have no idea when they diversify their writing rooms, how the fuck it is that they manage to exclusively find terrible writers.
I have no. That's what
we're all women, Burger.
Yeah, that's
it was all women.
Yeah, it's all freaking white women.
Yeah.
It's funny. The writers
the funny thing,
of fucking Genlock, the show, was I think mostly people of color. It was pretty diverse. They're male and female people of color, but somehow all of these writers are terrible for some fucking weird reason, and it sucks because I want to see more of this. The cast was great.
They didn't check their credentials. Really that's the problem.
Okay, here's my hypothesis.
Yeah?
When you are creating a creative work, your main goal, your goal is to create the best work that you can. And in order to pursue that goal, you make certain decisions and you take certain steps in order to make it as good as possible. But if you have a different goal that is usually put there by suits, by which I mean like executives, like for instance, doing a marketing thing within a given work, or something that is ideological, that is a different factor that plays into what creative decisions that you make. And so the creative decisions that you make are not going to be driven exclusively by the desire to make the best show that you can, but also to satisfy some other goal that maybe you're not even particularly passionate about. And that is what this will automatically, this has to, it's simple logic will detract from the quality of the work. Because if your only exclusive goal isn't to make the best work possible anymore, you will make different decisions and not make the best work possible anymore. I need to answer some questions from chat though. Also, how big are your feet? Bigger than yours? On a scale of 1 to 10, how insane is the USA? Not as insane as people think. Most Americans.
It's not as insane as Russia.
It just says by a non-American who has never been here. Anyway, moving on, European. Moving on, European. Answering our questions.
No. Anfash, I have been to America, so you're.
Yeah, but like where? But like where? Where like
New York,
Florida, New York, yeah.
New York,
yeah, Manhattan. Yeah.
East Coast. Oh shit, we got Tenny in the chat. What's up?
What?
V.33.
Wait, hold the fuck up. Tenny is in here?
Yes, it was going to be a surprise. I was going to reveal it after I answered this question that Tenny is in the chat, okay?
I'm sorry, Burger.
I am so disappointed.
Sorry.
No, look, for people the USA is crazy, but also the people in the USA are normal people.
No, we're not. Don't listen to these lies.
They care. Like you can empathize with them about the same basic human problems. They just like guns more.
Hell yeah, brother.
And that's cool. Have you played any good video games lately? Yes, I have. This is Tenny. Tenny is in the chat. Frohe Weihnachten. What's the best kind of confection and why is it hazelnut praline? Well, I have to disagree with you there, my man. I think it's actually the Dominostein. The domino stone, I guess. Is there an English...
Dominostein.
Yeah.
Dominoes.
No, it's
Penny,
just the English word for it is also Dominostein. That's my favorite thing. I sometimes purchase it. I have purchased a lot of it over the past month. And I've always said, I'm not going to eat the whole package in one sitting. This has never been the thing that actually ended up happening because I really like them.
Fucking Christmas food.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sweet
My man is traumatized, isn't he? Cool.
Yes.
Also, can I just say, Tenny, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
At the very least, talking to us in the YouTube chat.
Come back on the server, dude. We miss you.
We miss you. No, like unironically,
literally today we had a conversation about some people say I miss Tenny.
Oh, Tenny.
We had a freaking XCOM game where he was. Where they freaking made you.
Game. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Make the Christmas miracle happen, Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, I bought the XCOM collection that doesn't include the Bureau.
It's good
God
because
damn
the
it.
Bureau fucking sucks. I don't care if they're left, right, as long as they're not a centrist. I would much prefer a centrist over a right winger, except to go drinking. You can get really shit faced with right wingers. They know how to drink.
I would somewhat agree.
Yeah, I adore world building. For you, what is the hardest to world building, or something you would find interesting to world build that you know most people don't care about? Uh, infrastructure and institutions.
I'm back.
I have a science fiction setting called the Orion Spur that I've had since I was a teenager. I have a few short stories published in it too. And most of the world building that I've done is I have this huge document where I basically track the international president, chancellor of nations, prime minister, supreme admiral, and like the national senates as part of the Terran Federation, and all the different ministerial and secretarial ranks of the government, down to like the federal master of ceremonies and the CEO of Interbank, for like centuries. And I have them with names. A lot of them have biographies. All of them have like a color code that indicates their like political alignment. And this is shit that I have. Oh, this is how this aspect of the legal system of this world that I've built works. And it's it's the way infrastructure works. Like, oh, and then there's this is how the bus plan works on the big space station of the Federation. That's the kind of shit that I care about. Like the city planning of just space stations. And it's stuff that no one gives a shit about. Like no one cares IRL who the Secretary of Labor is. Like literally anyone here in chat, who's the Secretary of Labor? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Your mom.
Exactly.
Not really.
Exactly. And this is what I do for like centuries in like sci-fi settings.
Oh shit! It's yeah.
If you have fun.
It's Perry Batista Pizza Ball, dude.
Someone added me real quick.
Yeah,
Who added me?
Yeah, I talked about him earlier in the stream. The fucking the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, John Batista Pizza Ball.
Fucking Perry
John
Batista
Batista
Ball,
Pizza
yeah.
Ball? What?
It's Perry Batista Pizza
it's
Ball, dude.
Okay, it's Pierre Batista.
Pierre. Yeah.
Yeah, his name is literally Pizza Ball. And he's fucking Italian. I mean, you can't get better than that.
Winter, sorry. Winter added me, and I forgot to. I didn't read it. Can I just read it real quick?
Yes.
He said that remember that the company is not necessarily the same people eternally. Monty Ohm led Rooster Teeth for its peak animation, and it's fair.
See, the Labor Secretary is Natalie Palugay. Her name is literally gay. So
yeah.
Why so scared of Carlsberger? Well, actually, that is that might have been a joke on your part, but this is actually a very legitimate, good question. I don't have a favorite color. I know that you asked this before, and I skipped it on purpose. I don't have a favorite color, and it's something that confuses people very, very deeply. I care about color schemes. I think different color schemes are appropriate for different situations. You see, for instance, the color scheme behind me, which is how my room is painted. It's an excellent example of a color scheme that you should never use to paint a room because it looks terrible. I did not make any of the executive calls on these wall colors. This is such a dumb fucking thing to say, but I like all colors equally. I really fucking
centrist.
Good take. That's fine.
I mean, there are some colors I like less than others.
Indecision.
Frankly, when I was a kid, my favorite colors were like I had like a couple. Were silver and orange. Like just yeah, I know silver isn't technically a color, but I liked it when I was a kid. I liked metallic gray. So that and orange were like my favorite colors.
I like turquoise, aquamarine, grass green, beige, burgundy, electric green. There's a lot of colors that I really orange. Big fan of orange.
Oh yeah.
But I'm this way about everything. I couldn't tell you my superlative about pretty much anything. Very few things where there's like a category where there's a clear winner.
Yeah. I appreciate purples and like certain shades of green.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Purple is cool.
Yeah.
Purple's alright. I think my favorite is probably like a yellowish orange.
Actually,
I
real
like
quick.
a lot of military colors like OD, tan, black.
Actually, sorry, just a misnomer here, but I'm curious. Burger, are you in the BattleTech at all?
No, I'm into Lancer, but not BattleTech. I study metallurgical engineering, and while I enjoy studying it, I'm kind of ashamed that those industries are a big burden for the environment. Any tips how to cope? They're essential.
Alcoholism. Oh.
So what these industries that you can't. So there's yes, they're bad for the environment, but unlike coal or like the arms manufacturing sector, they're necessary. So what you can do is try to make them as green as possible. Like people have this idea of the way that you do green is you just stop doing everything that creates pollution, and what happens then is that civilization stops. You need to optimize the processes that are necessary and get rid of the ones that are not, and then you need to make
don't
up the
stop.
difference through active carbon capture technologies and equivalent things.
Yeah, like as an example of the whole metallurgical thing, it's not just like metals and whatnot that you're going to be mining out of the earth. Like, believe it or not, in like the industrial sector here in the States and I think abroad, one of the most highly used minerals, believe it or not, is limestone because that shit is used in almost everything. They use it in fucking chalk, food, paint, drywall. Like, you know that stomach medicine Tums? That's literally just limestone and food coloring. That's it. Like, this shit is used in everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Any
everyone's
favorite...
always talking about.
Yeah, go
Everyone's always talking about limestone, but what about lemonstone?
He's got a point. He's got a
Literally
point.
the exact same joke.
Shit, man, I got nothing.
Any favorite scented candles? I do like scented candles rather a bit. I had one years ago that smelled of pine. That one I really liked. There's one, I think it's up there. Let me reach over the fucking thing. This is called an Ivy League Manly Indulgence scented candle with notes of lavender, thyme, and white musk. This is one that I really like.
Why is musk a smell? That doesn't sound like a pleasant smell. That's not a good name for a smell guy.
My shower gel.
I would
I
would buy a.
Yeah.
I'd buy a candle that was unnamed Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Called Man Musk.
Yeah.
Do people eat carbs in Germany when it's Christmas? No. Tenny's doing okay, has a job, a partner, and and doing a podcast with some friends. Talking about LGBT topics and usually gets spicy with it. Hopes we are all well. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Tenny.
Yeah, dude.
Doing
It was nice to at least somewhat talk to you.
Can I invoke the Christmas spirit to plead for your mercy, Sir Burger? Well, that depends on what you're asking mercy for. Opinions on neo-pronouns. As someone with ADHD, I find it almost impossible to remember. Neo-pronouns are like more than like they, them, right? Because I have absolutely no problem with they, them. But
Zer, Zem, and some other really weird variants.
I'm not going to fucking remember your name, even. I'm not going to be able to remember your pronouns.
I can't, in the good hot take, I can't. I think neopronouns are kind of stupid. Like, it just... Like, you can't change a language that dramatically in that short amount of time. It takes time for languages to develop new shit like that. You can't just introduce it. It's gonna fuck with people's already... It's gonna... You can't do that. It's just not that feasible, and just like they them works already. Like it can it's not there's not really any singular or plural versions of it, but like it. Oh, I think yeah. But I
kind of see that more as being a thing with shit like Latinx rather than neo.
Yeah,
because Latinx is just stupid white people shit. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, it's like some of that it's white girl bullshit, if for lack of a better word. If that sounds cringe.
This is I understand that people wanna, because in a lot of people's minds the fucking gender is so tied to the pronouns, especially the English language. It isn't that much in like Spanish speaking cultures, which a lot of people who are like, oh, Latinx is so important, don't seem to understand all that much. I get why one would want their own pronoun, but I'm sorry, you personally are not the center of my universe. And if I can barely remember your name, I will not be able to remember your pronoun. If you're a close friend of mine and you want to be called by some made-up sound, your name is already a made-up sound, I will do my best. But don't expect me to do that if I don't fucking know you.
Me too. They, them. I'm sorry to any enemies out there who are really
if
into
a close
this.
friend
It
of
won't
mine
work.
went like, oh, actually, now I'm Ziza, I'm like, yeah, I'll try to do that. But don't fucking get angry at me when I don't, because I will forget.
Burger, so my new pronouns are God's chosen person. So if you like, call me
And-
that.
and
Big Tick.
Yeah.
Can I just shorten that to Messiah?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's okay. That's valid. Yeah.
My pronouns are you, your, I am you.
This is the most scuffed thing I've ever seen. Also, hi Cody, happy holidays, dude. This is cursed as hell. If anyone who's watched Full Metal Alchemist can probably get it.
Is it bad to just give people money instead of a Christmas present? I actually okay. Here's a big one.
Money's great.
I love giving people Christmas presents. I really, really do. I think of myself as a very good gift giver. I love doing it, but at the same time, I don't need any Christmas presents. I'm fine with not receiving Christmas presents. I like giving them. But there's a lot of good arguments to be made in favor of, like, money. The main argument being that you are... So the idea of a Christmas present in my mind, or a present in general, is that you buy shit for people that they wouldn't buy for themselves. But that tends to be rather difficult, and it's hit and miss. Something that I feel like is just as equivalent as good a present is to give them a universal token of like a gift card that they can use anywhere to buy anything, which is what money is.
Yeah, like for me, in my family these days, we're not like super close with each other. So a lot of times over like holidays and birthdays, I usually just like end up getting someone. Not even that. Sometimes someone will just send me a birthday card with like $20 in it, or send me like a Venmo and give me a text to make sure I'm not dead or anything. Pretty much.
So the problem is, if you do gift exchanges and everyone just gives the other person $50, you might as well like not have. That just becomes a prisoner's dilemma type situation, where someone is just gonna put in $40. So I like gifts because they represent a thoughtfulness, but I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong. There was a time in my life where I very much preferred to be gifted money, to gift money instead. I don't think there's anything morally reprehensible about it. But of course, if you want to show to someone, hey, I've thought about you specifically, and this is something that I think you might like, which there's a lot of pitfalls within gift giving that a lot of people are not very good at navigating, and I fully understand that. It's fine to just give someone money. Money is a great gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So moral of the story: send me money.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, I'd donate to your Patreon if you start one for your YouTube channel. You'd probably make some shit.
How about like I'll say I'll make content on my YouTube channel, but you start donating like before I do any work.
Alright.
Sounds like a great idea.
I'll just fucking do a pump and dump Kickstarter.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, when it comes to gift giving, I've always taken this approach with it of basically try to give something to someone that will find just overall useful, that will last them a while. Practical gifts, I guess.
Money is good to give to kids, but among friends, it's definitely kind of pointless. Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of just like giving people useful stuff, it's a great feeling now that I have a job. My mom just told me a specific item she wanted for Christmas. I got it for her. I ordered off of Amazon. Worked perfectly, and it feels good to be finally able to get stuff for people, like with my own damn money.
Yeah, dude, it's so nice.
I have a job.
As a kid, receiving $50 is a big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
As an adult, it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really isn't. I I personally prefer if you give me a gift that's worth $20, but that's a gift. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
to you, Gentile.
No, yeah.
If you're not gonna send him the $50, send it to me. Whoever's gonna give him $50.
Here's
I'll
massive.
also take
Here's
it.
here's some giants. Here's speculative evolution giant squirrels.
Well, that only we can see that. By the way, the studio chat is not on stream.
Oh come on! Oh okay.
Some of these look more like tigers.
I know, but they like evolved. Like the squirrels evolved to like be like predators or something. They look cool.
The last one kind of reminds me of a mega sloth, though.
It looks like, yeah, mega sloth mixed with like a bear. Or yeah.
I was convinced that you were going to say something, which is why I stopped. But apparently, you're not going to.
I'm considering asking
nuts.
something right now, but I don't know if it's a good place to ask it.
Oh boy, this has to be good.
I mean, like I should have. We're on stream, and I didn't bother to ask you this in advance, and I probably should have. But
you go ahead.
Fuck it. I work for. So my job is I'm a nonprofit that paints, that beautifies the community through murals, and we connect young people with special needs to the community and teach them job skills.
Yeah.
We are at the month we're at the month where we're kind of like where we're asking for donations and whatnot. 50% of our income comes from the people we have contracts with, like from the city, but the other 50% is from donations from kind people and who admire our cause. Would you have any problem with me like putting the link to that in promos and self promo?
Go ahead, dude. You fucking what's it called?
We're called okay. Well, my main hesitation though is that like I've said some dumb shit, and I'm afraid that's gonna come back and bite me. But I don't think anyone gives a shit or hates me enough.
Are you aware that I have a whole channel full of dumb shit that I've been saying for years?
You know what? Fair, and I've purged most of my Twitter history, and I think no one's gonna go looking back enough in your streams to find anything harm that would like bite me in the ass. So yeah, we're called Muralism. We're in the LA area. We go around and we paint local murals. I will find the link and I'll post it in like self promo.
Did you definitely underestimate how autistic some people are?
Oh no, we actually most of our we specialize in working with people, young people on the spectrum. So.
Oh yeah, but no. You seriously underestimate how autistic some people can be when they try to ruin people's lives. Just saying.
Yeah, especially white women.
Most autistic of groups.
If anyone wanted to cancel me, they could do it. They would not have to look far. Like, I fucking have probably said the N-word today. Like, this is not even... Oh, Anfash dropped. His internet cut out. Like, not in fucking public, but in my head, definitely. No, actually, I did. I know where I said it specifically.
Copy link.
I don't believe in canceling people over bullshit. I don't believe in going back through people's history. Like if somebody would like go ahead and I have exposed you because you've said this thing about whatever about for any sort of minority group. It's like, motherfucker, look at my actual track record. Look at all of the fucking times when I actually earnestly said something and made an argument about how BLM is right. About how fucking... I did a charity stream to help a massive trans organization. Then they sent me a mug. That's very cool.
They sent you a mug? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the actual track record of people, and don't be so obsessed over what words they use.
All right.
Of course, there's a certain line of civility, but that line of civility isn't on Twitter.
Hey guys, I gotta bounce. A friend of mine's calling me. We're back in the bed.
See you around, man.
See ya. And I'll put. Yeah.
I think. Okay, yeah. At what point do you think technology might progress to being a mistake? That all technology is a mistake.
Yes,
depends on
especially considering that burger is fucking cursed by the Omnissiah.
Yeah. Let's.
I
not,
had to bring that up. I'm
not
sorry.
Start about that.
I'm sorry, but you are.
I 100% truly am. No. It really depends on how you use it. Even, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Even NFTs have a lot of potentially excellent applications, especially in like fighting corruption and shit. But
they do, but the current implementation of them is basically a scam.
Yeah, just like cryptocurrency could be great, but it's implemented rather terribly right now because it's the new thing. It's like how the same with AI. You know how back in the 1910s, 1920s, when X-rays, Röntgen rays were new, you'd go to like a shoe shop, and they basically they'd put your shoe on one of the pedals as they'd do an X-ray of your foot, or you'd go to like the fair, and for a nickel they would do an X-ray of your whole body.
Yeah,
like
except
that.
They're giving people cancer.
It was just the newest technology, and everything had to run on it, and that's why they were using it excessively. Nowadays, we use the technology in useful ways that is actually good.
Like talking of that, right? That actually reminds me of like a thing Anfash told me about a while ago, which was you know what? Let me bring it up in like 5 minutes because I can't remember the name of it. I gotta go through my YouTube history and find the fucking video that I watched about
Have you read the Wall trilogy? It discouraged me from reading because I know I'll probably will not find such a great books in a while. I have seen it, but the name, like, if you call this book Wall, I didn't find it very intriguing. So, but then I literally only read the title. Berkeley, the only reasonable online leftist. No, Kyle Kalinske also. There's a lot of there's a lot of like fucking online leftists. It's most of them are not leftists in the sense that they're like mostly about leftism. Why is it that so many people fail to understand what ADHD looks like? I don't really know what ADHD. I wouldn't be able to. I have a lot of symptoms of ADD, definitely. But I wouldn't be able to. It would be cool if you were to elaborate on this a little bit. Because I feel like I might agree with you, but this could go into various different directions. So you never had a carp occupying your bathtub for a week. Sorry if these fish questions are weird, but I just realized poles are considered fun. I'm sorry, do people in Poland eat carp for Christmas?
Yeah, I heard so.
I have been to Poland many times. I have great respect for your nation. But what? The fuck? What? And you put it in the fucking tub? What is this about?
What, it just like swims in it?
What the shit? Is it like, because carps can get pretty fucking big. Do you put it in the tub because it's so huge? Or do you have it swim around in there? Like, we do the Christmas duck in Germany. Duck is the classic Christmas. I actually had, I was a Chinese duck, but I had a duck today. Google bathtub carp. What the fuck? Bathtub carp. Well, I mean, yeah. Why do people... Carps are bottom feeders. Okay, well, that's not what I mean. Do Polish keep carp in bath? In Poland, many carp are still sold live in supermarkets to the dismay of animal rights protesters, in brackets, and the fish are often kept in the family bathtub before ending up on the dinner table. Hell yeah, dude. And this is the thing that you see on Google is mostly babies interacting with that carp.
No.
Oh,
fuck yeah, dude.
Okay, so Burger, I found the thing that I was talking about. It was called the Goiânia accident. It was this thing that happened in Brazil back in like the 90s, right? Like pre-internet Brazil. So basically, what happened is a radiology clinic got started
yeah.
there, and then it got shut down. But the thing is, they didn't take the radioactive material they were using for X-rays and shit. They just abandoned the building and left shit there. So then, like a couple years later, when the building's all destroyed and shit, some like scavengers go in there. They just find a metal tube. They don't know what it is. Take it to a junkyard and sell it for like $25. The people there break it open and just find this glowing dust in it. That glowing dust was. Let me check the name of it real quick. It was some bad shit, and it made the entire. And it was bad. It was really fucking bad.
This is such a Brazil story, honestly. This is a huge Brazil moment.
It was, let's see. It was calcium chloride.
Yeah, that's not good for you. That's not gonna. They're not
and,
gonna put
like,
that in your salad.
They were basically just like treating it like it was fairy dust. Now, again, remember, this is like pre-internet Brazil, basically in the middle of a fucking favela. They don't fucking know any better. They don't know what this shit is. And they basically made the entire town fucking radioactive inside of a day.
Oh, shit, dude. Hey, honestly, Brazil is the Russia of South America. Well, all of South America is really the Russia of South America, but Brazil is.
You want to know the most amazing part out of all of this?
Yeah.
Only 4 people died.
That's good, though. That's very good. Probably
yeah,
a lot more people got cancer, though, long term.
Probably there was about 259 people who got contaminated by it, although like they were able to contain this shit, believe it or not, inside of a few days.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is like, I mean, talking about South America governments, especially in Brazil, that's pretty goddamn impressive.
You wouldn't think blood sausage would taste good, but it does. Of course it tastes good. It's fucking blood sausage. I love blood sausage. Like, there's one of my favorite childhood meals has blood sausage. It's like a spaghetti with mustard and blood sausage. It's great. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Fucking hell. Anyway, I think we're closing in on the 2-hour mark for the stream. So
it's been real, bros.
Yeah, I'm going to say thank you all very much for watching. Actually, let's have a last round of questions when we get fully to the 2-hour mark. And if you have questions, shoot them off now. Otherwise, then I'll have it cut off soon, and then we'll.
While I'm at it, I might as just stream like Yakuza 0, just beating up some kids in a game for fucking kids.
Freaking based.
Do you think automation will erode the power of unions in the working class? Yes. How will ex-workers have strike power when their jobs no longer exist? They won't. This is why we need to create these kinds of institutions early, and we especially need need unions in an area where there are very few of them, which is the white collar work. Blue collar has unions a lot. White collar work, like for technology industry and shit, especially because it's new very often, does not have unions to the extent that it should have.
Okay, so going off of that, here's an interesting question. Should we try to prevent automation from happening?
No.
Yeah, it's cringe.
It's not only is that cringe, it's also not possible.
I want to become a robot, my man.
This is
I don't want to allow you to stop me.
All that energy would be much better spent actually building a system in which that automation serves the general public, as opposed to just the general, because the general public is going to get scraps from it no matter what. If you don't include them as like a super ultra billionaire, you're not going to make more money, and that's really your goal as a super ultra billionaire, because you have so little of it. But all of that energy is much better spent to like building something worthwhile.
Yeah, that makes total sense, though.
You're right.
Least favorite color. That also I cannot answer.
Lol.
Yeah.
Cringe because he's scared.
Yeah, I am terrified.
Cringe because he's a color centrist.
Big
Jesus
Yellow
Christ.
is going to fucking get me if I criticize the color yellow.
Jesus Christ. I mentioned that I might want to get some tools or something around my phone, and now I'm getting ads to join in as the Navy as a fucking mechanic.
Here's something you should do. When somebody leaves their phone, you should, they go to the toilet or something. You should just get very close to the phone and do this. Small penis. Viagra. Erectile dysfunction. My dick is small. Penis enlargement. I'm gay. Getting my dick hard. I can't get my dick hard. That's really what you should be doing.
Poor guy being bullied by fucking kids because he's a fucking
And
Christian.
it's honestly
Jesus Christ.
even better if they're a woman.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Do you think the global tech companies have more power than national governments at the moment? Some national governments, probably, but that's not just tech companies. There's a lot of companies that are more powerful than some national governments, but not more powerful than pretty much any Western government. Like, even Liechtenstein. Well, maybe Liechtenstein, but...
Damn, he's 30, he looks fucking young.
Like, fucking... national governments have a lot of power that they just do not throw around. Ever. They just don't do it. Yellow is bad, though. Well, I kind of agree. A color like
Yellow is dope. Yellow is dope. It's my favorite color.
I like
you can make any color
in
work.
strategy games.
You can make any color work. It's just combining them with complementary colors.
Yeah. Yellow works because in strategy games that just means ally or neutral.
That's blue, actually.
No, blue is your own forces, you retard.
But then green usually will be the allied one. Yellow is like neutral enemy.
But no, red is enemy. Red.
Well, I suppose this depends highly on the particular strategy game that you're playing.
True. Most of the time, every time I've seen purple in a game, it means corrupted. The Burgundy French, for example, in Age of Empires 2.
Obviously, then if it means corrupted, the French are going to be purple.
Yeah, obviously. What was it again? Oh yeah, the Zergs and fucking StarCraft. Fuck, there were a few others, but I can't quite recall them.
I like mango yellow. That one's not too bright. But yeah, if national governments have power that they don't throw around, isn't that just a sign of company power? No. That's a sign of governments working as intended. Like, at least modern liberal Western democracies. The point of them is to accumulate powers in one sort of divested place, but to then not use that power 99% of the time. That's the point of modern governments. In a roundabout philosophical sense, of course. So that's actually a good thing. Anywho, I think that'll be it. I think at now 23, that'll be that. It's been fucking dope. Having
Wanna
you
watch
all
me bully some fucking kids
on this Christmas Eve. I hope all of you have a nice whatever the fuck it is that you celebrate. I don't even really celebrate Christmas, but I am gonna go see some friends tomorrow, so that's pretty good. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching the whole year. There's gonna be a year review coming up on the 30th.
Nice.
That's gonna come out when I'm out of town because I'm leaving on the 27th.
When are you going to be back?
On the 2nd, I'm going to return, so I'm not out for long. I'm just doing New Year's out of friends.
Cool.
Just stuffing out for a packet of cigs.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you around.
And Kaz McKean.
Merry Christmas, cunts. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.